Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby! Welcome back to the podcast, everybody, as I continue on. Episode 2 spoiler review for the new show on Max by DC Comics, The Creatures of Commando, Episode 2 spoiler review. So again, if you have not seen this, pause this, give me a thumbs up, go watch Episode 1 and 2, come back, let me know how you feel and where you think this show is going to go in the comments below. I would love to hear it all. So again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned? Now, yeet. Let's get into it. Episode 2 gives us a brief origin story of the bride and why she went back to the manor. The bride answers some of Nina's questions about Victor and his reasonings to experiment, as we get a flashback of when she was pretty much put together. Victor taught her words, made her who she is, and this was all about creating a bride for the one and only Frankenstein. And then we see through this whole episode that he's losing his patience. He just wants to be a bride, have a bride. He just wants to be loved. He just wants a wife. You know, it's kind of hard for a guy that big, that monstrous, that ugly to get it. So he's just trying, and he's very strong. He has made death threats to Victor, who's like a father to him, but he's just doing it. And we also see in this episode, Rick and Lana finally hooked up and did the you know what. And I can't say it on YouTube, so sorry. And it was very, very long type of scene and had a lot of humor as we see Weasel and G.I. Robot kind of got on the door, and then we see Dr. Frosters tell one of the guards, like, hey, they're busy, give them this a minute, this second, and they're like, wow, he just, and it's just funny, but he was trying to let Rick Flag, like, hey, your two girls are gone, like, they ditched, and when she finds out, and, you know, we see that through that whole episode, and then we also learn in this that the bride never really cared for Frankenstein. Like, she was not in love. And we see that the bride and Victor bonded a lot, and we learn that she was looking for him. Also in this episode, Circe learns that about the creatures, Commando, learns that the bride and Nina or at the manor, and she's ready to fight. And you know what, she's very tough. She has that I'm a badass thing, and like everybody in the crew's scared of her, and she's like a boss. She's just eating, drinking, and she gets the information, and she's ready to go. And now through this episode, we see who's gonna get there first, because as we learn too as well that they're gonna go visit and to the manor to check her out to take on the bride and Nina, and you know they get attacked, but luckily, you know, Rick's on the way and he's about to find out what's going on. And this is a part where there's a lot of action and battling with a really good catchy song playing. This also shows us more of the bride's past. After Frankenstein killed Victor, over years and years, Frankenstein's been chasing her. And it's the fact that we learned that the bride and Victor fell in love. They even, you know, did the nasty. And, you know, they did all that. So it was definitely a thing. And throughout centuries and centuries, they've been chasing each other. And then we get to the point where the battle ends between the bride and Sirius, and they both, the bride gets her arms turned into like these, like those little wacky balloon characters that you see at car lots or whatever. Because Cersei has the ability to change things or objects into a different thing. That's just one of her ability powers. But she flies. She's strong like Wonder Woman and stuff. Like she just got. But that what makes her different from Wonder Woman. The only, like, Wonder Woman can, I guess, turn things into visible, and Cersei can change your body parts into something else or any object in that matter. So that's the difference. And they didn't really show a lot of her, but they just show that she can fight. And we see her crew like shoot Nina, and they got her, but her glass with all the water fell. But they might be dead, they might even not, but that's how it ended, where they're both on the floor, falling off from the manor, hit rock bottom. So we'll see if Rick's going to save them in time or they're both dead, but that's how they left it. But what I liked about this was literally the origin story of the bride. That's very a unique twist. And I saw the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo in there. So I guess they're canon to Scooby-Doo, which that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. But also I noticed, like, this was very interesting that the bride and Victor hooked up at one point, and I wonder, like, why. I mean, they showed us why, because she really went to that manor for that medallion that was given to her as a gift. So she still misses him, loves him, and she wants to cherish that, but she's obviously trying to keep that a secret. And I believe it's because she's trying to hide it from Amanda Waller and all that. But, like, I bet she knows. I bet she knows. And Amanda Wallace, I should say. I apologize. But she probably already knows. Like, she probably dig up all the dirt about them. But she's trying to play this for keeps. But I really like the idea of, like, this is where she's come from. I like that they've been chasing each other for years. It kind of reminds me of an old Looney Tunes show with Pepe Le Pew in love with this cat, and he just keeps consistently chasing her and following her. That's what it kind of is. And, they're kind of teasing the idea these guys are going to battle each other and stuff, but it's a different twist of the classic Frankenstein and the Bride, but I liked it. I love it. I think there's more to it. And I wonder what's going to happen next. But I really like that battle fight. That was a really good battle scene. Like, obviously, this is an adult animation, but there's a lot of blood in this one, too. But they are already, like, James Gunn from the 2021 Suicide Squad film that he directed in this, he's really good at teasing the idea that, like, these characters are already dead. Like, he has no problem killing them off and then bringing them back to life when he feels like it's right. So, if you just go based off the Suicide Squad that he did, they're either dead or alive, or they'll come back alive later on. So, that's going to be interesting. And I like the story of this one. The pace was a lot faster. This is a more of an action type episode. Like, and I really like, too, the way they presented her origin story through flashbacks and kept up with what's currently going on in their situation was really well balanced out. But I liked how this kind of makes you want to cheer for the bride. Like, she's lost and she's looking for something to replace what she lost in her life. And she's changed a lot, where she wasn't always this tough. Like, she was at one point soft and gentle and a loving, caring person, but obviously she was a child in her mind at the time when she was created or born, whatever you want to coin it or phrase it. But the point is, like, she's really changed. But it looks like Frankenstein is, like, bratty, very childlike, but now the bride acts like a grown woman, but she's a badass, of course, so you got to put that in there. But I really like how they presented it. But again, this is something like they're giving you a reason why to care for this particular character. Like, because you got to think about what is a good reason to like the Frankenstein and the Bride story if you already know about the story. Well, you do a different version of it, you do a different twist to it, and you give them a different life path. And James Gunn just did this, and it's really good. Like, we got her past, now we're seeing her current, and now you have a reason to hope that she has a better future, that she could be a heroic person. Maybe join the Justice League, Teen Titans, I don't know, Doom Patrol. It could anything is possible with this character. And it's this on. So now when they get to episode 3, a lot of people are going to tune in because they want to know what's going on with the bride. And also, same thing with Nina. Like, why is she so kind when everybody else is so mean to her? And how does she stay so nice? But why is she locked up, and what bad thing has she done? It's very interesting. They explained it in episode 1, but the real reason why, not the way Amanda Wallace explained it. We want to see the way from her words, her past, because we're going to get a different viewpoint of that situation. So, again, they got you hooked on it. They got you more curious, and a reason why to care for that character too. And what does that mean for her in the life if these characters are still alive? So who knows? But I really like that, and I think these characters are going to be really more important in the DCU if they stay alive. So I'm hoping too that I kind of hope nobody dies in this show. I mean, as far as the main characters, I would like to see them the live action of these characters, especially like the bride. Like, that'd be really cool, and I would love to see the Weasel creature again back in a live action DC movie, maybe in the Batman too. No, I'm just kidding. They won't do that. I wish, but they won't do that. But I would like to see those characters back, and I think a lot of these characters are potential good, and the villains seem really good and simple to understand. Like, we're starting to understand Sirius a little bit more. And we're understanding, like, she's starting to start a war, and she knows that she's trying to get stopped, so she's going to take out her competition. So everybody's in danger at this point with her. And it seems like, I feel like we won't see any, like, Justice League members, but I could be wrong. But it seems like this is kind of like what people would hope the video game, the Suicide Squad kill Superman type game, which is like not the well-received game, but maybe this is the story that they wanted to see in that video game. Maybe, I could be wrong, but that's where it seems like it's going. And you're like, well, what does, Sirius is not like Wonder Woman, but she's related. She's from the same place as Wonder Woman. No, she's not Superman, but somebody who's that strong like Superman or Wonder Woman or Sirius, you really need some heavy ammo. And the fact that they don't look like they could, but they can, I think this is a story that people wanted to see in that video game, to me. So I'm really excited with that, too. So I really like how they're really showing this main villain for this season. So I can't wait for that. I do see, like, Harley Quinn showing up. I can see Deathshot show up, and I can see like Deathstroke himself show up. But I think there's more to it, and I think like there's going to be a big payoff to this season too with these. But I really like it, and it does feel like a Suicide Squad TV show. But again, like I said, it from episode 1 spoiler review, which is out now, is that this is like another version of a Suicide Squad. So it has a lot of Suicide Squad elements to it, to the feel, the format of this, and I really like it. They're like the broken toys. They're smart asses. They cuss. They do things. They can do some evil things, but they can do some heroic things and maybe have redemption. So who knows? But I can't wait to see more. And I just thought again, I thought the story to episode 2 was well smoothed out, balanced, and it kept it going. You know, it made sure that it reminds you what happens in episode 1, but it's really teasing what episode 3 is going to bring. So I really can't wait for that. So if I had to give this episode 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving this an 8. This one improved. This one's a little bit better than episode 1. It just as far as the pacing goes, but I really liked how they gave us reasons to care for, like, again, the bride, Nina, and gave us a better understanding, like, what the main villain is willing to do to these characters, and she's not holding back. So I really like that. But that's my review, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official Channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace